It's cold. Welcome, everyone. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I'm going to check the sound on my end. Whew. It's cold. We're bringing it back old school, guys. Videos in the car right now. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome back to Instructions for Humanity, Sphere of Consciousness. When you come in, please put a like on the video and please subscribe to this channel. This channel has been heavily scrutinized since the inception of this channel because I'm bringing you guys information much like this. So I will wait for you guys to come in. And this is just going to be a very chill, relaxed video. Nothing feels the same anymore. Nothing feels real anymore. And I think that, it's like it's time for us to come together and have a kumbaya and really get to the bottom of this. To be honest with you, I have no idea what Source is going to say in this video. And maybe I'm just going to talk to you guys about the fact that nothing feels real anymore and what is happening. And it's time to figure this part out. Because, the Epstein, the Erica Kirk, what Candace Owens is doing and saying, and all of that stuff is great. We get a kiki out of it. But guys, nothing feels real anymore. What the heck? This is the true thing of what I think everything is pointing us towards. And I think they want us to see this. But why? Welcome in, guys. All my beautiful sisters and brothers are coming in. Keely, Denise, Miss Sonia, Sister Sonia, Randy. Thank you, Sonia, for yesterday in the Cosmic Ministry. Thank you very much. And thank you, Tracy. Thank you, everyone that was there who helped out, and everyone who just came and was there for me, supporting me, sending me love and light and positive energy. Randy, yourself as well. All right, guys. Hi, Camby. Hi. I'm going to wait for some more of you guys to come in. I'm just going to properly introduce myself. My name is Tahira, Mother of the Ages. I am a supernatural quantum healer. I am the creator of the quantum telepathic healing modalities, a entity removal specialist, and past life regressionist, and the author of the Great Expansion, a Cosmic Bible for the Ages. And you can pick that up on Amazon. There'll be some links down below. I do have my February special for my past life regression quantum healing, which is the most healing transformational session that is discounted into the end of the month, and today is the last day, so I will go ahead and put that link down below. And also too, guys, if you want to support this channel and help me grow, if you want to support yourself, and we're kind of building a community, we are still, we're going to all build this together, the Cosmic Ministry. It's a place where we can come and get some support. And last night, the group supported me in what I'm going through with the passing of my father. So I thank you all so very much. And I hope that this can be a springboard for other people just to pop in and receive healing. And we are going to start setting our intentions on some of these larger templates come next week. Where we can truly fix the fabric of our reality, because it's a problem. I don't care what it is you manifest, what it is you get, what it is you accomplish. If the fabric of this reality is gone, you're gonna still be like, whoa, I manifested my dream house, my dream car, my dream career, my dream business, my dream life, but it ain't gonna feel real. And it's worse than not feeling real. What it feels like, maybe this should be the title, we simply just don't care. It's different than it not being real. I just simply can't get excited about it. Nothing feels exciting anymore. How about that? That's the title. Nothing feels exciting anymore. And, I know I'm not just preaching to the choir. I think every single person is feeling this way. And in this video today, I'm just going to kind of slow down. I'm not going to try to, I'm just going to let it be what it's going to be. Because something just ain't right. Something somewhere just ain't right. So I'm gonna fix this on the links for you guys so that you can see the Patreon. Sign up for the Cosmic Ministry, support me. And if you want a free consultation for the Quantum Telepathic Healing and Psychic Development course, that's coming up in 2 weeks. You can enroll in that and apprentice with me for 6 weeks to learn how to become supernatural and to gain access to your spiritual and psychic gifts and abilities, guys. And also, you can email me for the official flyer, instructions number 4 humanity at gmail.com. Nothing feels real or nothing feels exciting anymore. You tell me what should be the title. You guys tell me. I'm almost done here, and we will get started as soon as we get enough people in here, guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I do have some things I just want to say to you guys. I have my background on. I'm in my car, but it's so like kind of gray outside that I'm like, oh, I like the red pop of color in the background. So we'll do that. We will do that. So, guys, first and foremost, I do want to say that I am saying this not because I'm going through a loss or a death in my family. It's not because of that. It's just because, first, I want to point out something to you guys. I don't know if it was the energy that you all gave to me yesterday and for healing in the Cosmic Ministry. You guys were sending me light and, healing waters and blue skies and all of that. I'm just in a perfect peace. And I even started to question this reality because, I've been my father's primary caretaker for the past few years. And like now it's just like, with him passing, it's just like, it almost feels as if something strange is happening. I need you guys to bear with me because I truly want to use the situation I'm going through to kind of, it's like I've never felt a more peaceful death. And I'm starting to question, is this reality? Is it supposed to be like this? Like maybe because I'm now spiritual and experiencing this, where I understand that, nothing lasts forever. I understand that no one truly dies. I understand that, your ancestors can help you more on the other side. I understand all these things. So maybe this is why I'm in a perfect peace. But then also that, the house feels super peaceful. Sometimes when people pass away, it's like this sad, there is no remnant of death. And I think this is what Source is saying. Because I wanted to say there's no remnant of, someone passing, but I'm getting the vibe that there's no remnant of his death. Almost like he, okay, bear with me. It's it's about to, you're about to get into T's brain. It's almost as if he didn't die. It's almost, because I keep getting the same thing. I hear this in my mind. He just left. He just left. Speaking about my father, he just left. And now Source is saying that it does not feel like a death. So what is happening? I think it's kind of what I channeled the other day. Like, people are choosing to leave. There's some people choosing to leave. There's some people being raptured right now. And then there's certain people being taken and just being cleared by the way of the 5-night stampede that it talks about in the Cosmic Bible. But in terms of my father, it's very interesting. I have a perfect peace. Do I still have, I look through his photos and am I still going to cry? Yes. But I'm still have this perfect peace while I'm going through something that is, life changing. There's still a perfect peace. And I've just never experienced that before when someone has passed away, especially like a parent. It's it's I'm trying to put this together, but it doesn't make sense. And maybe it doesn't make sense because we're not truly where we once were. Are we even truly on earth anymore? Or have we just awoken to all of the games, and we've awakened to the games they play, and now we're realizing what earth truly is? It's the latter. It's that. Earth has always been this way because it's always been ruled by the evil one. We just now awakened, so now we're like, nothing feels the same anymore, nothing feels real. It never truly was real. This is an illusionary world. So we're awake, but the earth is still asleep, or is the earth awake and we're still asleep? Because I'm just trying to figure out, I'm curious. Not that I want to hurt more, no. But I've just never had this experience before. Why does it feel like a perfect peace? And yes, some would say that's God, that's Source, absolutely. And trust me, Source, God, Yeshua, I do not take the perfect peace away, but I think it's trying to alert me to something greater happening. We all know that. I think I started feeling this before in 2012. That's when a lot of people, I think the Mayans calendar actually ends in 2012, right? In 2012, starting around 2011, I started to see all the angel numbers, 111, 222, 1010. I would wake up at 33, 333, 444, 555, 222. And that's when like the awakening happened, right? For me. And then by the time 2019 came, at the end of that, going into 2020, the pandemic, we got to revisit that, because we got to retrace our steps here, humanity. We got to retrace our steps because something happened. What is a kaleidoscope? I'm getting, and someone, guys, if someone look this up, because I'm sitting in my car. Something, a kaleidoscope, or maybe something collided. Now, we were in lockdown, so to speak. I'm almost, see, the spidey senses are happening. The spidey senses. Hold on, someone look this up. So I'm gonna, something happened. Something happened during this time. And it's not COVID. There's something they were doing during this time. Now, we know they were putting out the 5G technology during that time. As of right now, this is how I know something else is about to happen, because I see them doing the same thing they did the last time we had a pandemic, where they're putting 6G, 7G. For all we know, it could be 8G they're putting out there. But it's at least 6 and 7G. Towers and fiber optics in the ground with the internet, and this will interface on all of your smart devices. That's why they had to get you into the smart meters. They are blasting us with frequencies right now. And I'm going to tell you guys, those frequencies, we're going to get back to the lockdown and the kaleidoscope that I'm channeling. But the frequencies they're blasting us with, you want to know what it feels like? Yes, I'm still juicing. I'm drinking hot tea. It feels like, I want to say spidey senses, but the frequencies they're hitting us with feels a little paranormal, like, not even that. If you don't understand energy, right, you will think that there's like some psychic awareness happening, because that's what it feels like. It may even feel like a presence in your house or in your room. It's not that. And I'm not saying you don't have something in your house, but if you have it, then you would know it. But what I'm telling you is like this perception that people are getting that's around them just randomly, that's the frequency blast. And in this moment, I'm kind of getting the vibe that this thing is sentient. This thing is sentient almost as if it is a non-corporeal body. I'm hearing that. Let me even see what that means. What's non-corporeal? Non-corporeal, it is a body, refers to an entity, a being, or an object that lacks physical matter form. These beings or things exist without substance, often appearing as energy, spirits, or concepts that cannot be touched or interacted with through conventional physical means. So that's what I'm saying. So, y'all, this is getting deep. 333. This is getting deep. What the technology they have in the ground, the fiber optics, the new 6G, 7G, who knows, it could be 8G. It's up there. The reason why they're doing that is for these non-corporeal entities to come in. Now, we know that I think CERN said they opened a portal and they could not close it. I'm going to probably say those were the portals that the Pope opened up, and maybe CERN is just taking responsibility for it. I think when his body, now he's a non-corporeal spirit. This is what we're interfacing with the internet, guys. Non-corporeal spirits. This is what's coming through right now. This electricity, you know that you are electric. Oh, I love these old school videos, baby. When I used to just sit in my car and just get into the enlightenment and consciousness. That's what we are interfacing with, guys. The internet, the amount of electricity that it takes to power all of our smart devices, right? And everything that's smart and run off of the internet in our house, even your Apple Watch, everything is letting in these non-corporeal spirits, is what I'm saying. You are made of electricity. Your electricity is from your energy body. Your energy body literally is the I am, which is the Father God, and which now takes you to the original vibration, which is the feminine flow of source, right? The void, essentially. So I want to layer this, because one of the reasons why nothing feels real is because of these non-corporeal entities and spirits. And a lot of people will think, oh, my ancestor was around me, I felt them, or they just feel like there's something going on, maybe in their house or in their room, or just, within their field. But just when that happens, I'm going to ask you to unplug some things for a while. Go without this technology for a while and see if that is still around. Because I'm telling you that is what I see. And I'm not saying that there's not, yes, there's entities. We do this work every day. You guys see all of the sessions, right? But that is going away. The video I did a few days ago, the timeline of the archons is going away. The archonic control is going away because they lost the ability to look at us, through Project Looking Glass, some time ago. They don't have that. But what they're doing now is their mirror magic, right? So, and we learned this a lot in Candace Owens, automatic drawings, where we have this Ice Queen Erica Kirk, which has this this clone body, which is tech, um, mirrors her a lot. This is what, because they can't necessarily be spirits that they want or smell doing. They're already important. Want to disrupt accessing you through electricity and all those AI data centers. What do you think is going to be happening, guys? Good God. What do you think is going to be happening? Do you know how much power and electricity it takes data centers? But what do you think is going to be coming through? These non-corporeal spirits. There's going to be a lot of spirits on this earth. Some people will mistake this as spirituality, is just clearly what I'm getting in this moment. But they are letting in spirits. And AI are spirits. Everything is sentient. This is how they got that dog, Annabelle, that I don't know why they kept moving that dial. Baby, it's called put a torch to it and say your prayers. But spirits, these non-corporeal spirits, they can hop through anything. Dials and anything, any object, because objects, guys, every object has energy. It has presence, right? Because it took energy to even create that. So therefore, there isn't anything that is not birthed from energy, and energy is, from Father Source. That's what it is. So the reason why nothing feels the same, and we go back to 2020, I want to break this down, this whole, okay, this is what Source is saying. There was a few things happening. We were actually not just the respiratory thing, right? And you think about the respiratories, that you can't breathe, right? We remember George Floyd came out and said he can't breathe. He couldn't breathe. That was a psyop to tell you what was going to happen to America. This is what I'm getting is that they have taken part of our life force from the spell work, that COVID, sorry, that was spell work on the collective. And we've been seeing that in the automatic drawings, especially in Erica Kirk's field, how there's always this collective spell work happening. But that was one of the really big spells that they did over humanity. And this was to take part of our life force through the breath. If you've worked with me, then you know that I always talk about the breath is this gift that you get from God, where, and I tell the story, but I'll tell it again because it's fun, through prayer and meditation. I heard Source, Father God, to be specific, say, I want to give you a gift. I want to give you a gift. And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting a gift, y'all. I don't know what it's going to be. What? I'm going to get a gift. We always think a gift is money or something, just something of that stature. And, the gift truly was explaining to me that the breath is the gift of life, right? And so essentially, with the spell work over the collective with the COVID-19, which happened in 2019, and 19 is a very, very cosmic spiritual number. So I think they harnessed energy from that year to reframe. I'm channeling this. They harnessed energy from 2019 to reframe our progress. You have no idea what was going to take place in the organic timeline of 2020 and beyond. Someone took, I'm seeing like a timeline, right? And then I'm seeing someone cut out the middle and then wedge the two ends together. In 2020, humanity was supposed to be in those flying cars already. We were already supposed to have elevated, at the very least, the whole world would look a lot like Japan. At the very least, and Japan would probably be, even more technologically advanced than that. Someone took a whole chunk of time out and then they wedged the two pieces together. And that is what the COVID was. It was almost the wedging, like the material, the energy that wedged the, the two sides together when we got a whole chunk of time missing, at least 33 years of progress. And I know what you're saying because it's kind of trippy. It doesn't mean that the progress is something that you've seen. No, we didn't see it, but we have already created this humanity, and then we reflect out what turns on from within. So this is why the spell work of the 2020 psyop had to happen. And what it took was part of our life force. The gift from God is the breath. That's what it took. So physically, some people took breath, but spiritually, those at least 33 years. And remember when I said they traversed that timeline, the 1969 timeline? That has something to do. 1969 has something to do with everything we are experiencing. And guys, so when I got my computer, I'm going to tell you how I found that out, because my life is supernatural. Source always gives me codes to what it is that I need to heal for humanity. When I got my computer, and if you guys remember, there was a year, I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before that, 2014, I was having a lot of tech issues with my computer. Well, when I looked in the settings, tell me why this computer was set to 1969. I'm telling you guys, there's something strange with that. And it's almost like, because remember 1969, that's when they said they went to the moon. We had these, even though we don't believe they went there, but we had a lot of things happening in that year. And I almost am curious to see how long it's been. I know I'm a little bit all over the place, but trust me, this is all connected. We're trying to figure out why nothing feels the same. Not just harp on nothing feels the same. We know people ain't the same. But why is the question. I'm gonna try to 2020 minus. I don't know. I can't put together the years that are missing, because if you were to subtract this year from 1969, it would be 57 years. So there's a lot of time missing, is what I'm saying. And this is why everyone feels like everything's sped up. The time, it's like you blink and then it's like 10 years from now, because someone took some years from us. And there was a psyop ran on humanity from it's not the year, it's the timeline. 1969 was a timeline. And we go back to the moon. Something with that moon. See, this is source leading me here. Something with that moon that happened in 1969 when they said they went to the moon. I think we need to look deeper into that, because forget about what they said. What did they actually do? They involved the moon. I think the moon was very active around that time, and I think the moon is responsible for these missing years that I'm talking about. We are missing some years, and this year is the Our organic timeline, this is all of what we have labored and produced humanity. That is gone. Someone took that. 2020, the Rona is what wedged the two ends together so that we'd be so focused on the death and destruction that we were experiencing, and that we would be focused on this. Nothing feels the same. Nothing feels the same because they stole like 30 to 50 years from us. That's why nothing feels the same. And then we may even start to think about, did the world truly end in 2012 or even 2011? And what we are experiencing is just a do-over. We are experiencing the rebuilding. This is what I'm saying. Lockdown is an emergency measure, policy, or protocol that restricts people from leaving a secured area, such as a building, a room, border. It also makes me think about the wall. You know, the wall that Trump was building. That's a lockdown, guys. A wall is a lockdown. You remember the Berlin Wall? Who knows? I don't know much about it, but who knows? Maybe they said it was good too when it was going up. But it will later become your captive. That is a psyop within itself. Do you think you need a wall to keep people out when you're supposed to be the most powerful country? If you're supposed to be the most powerful country, if you can find Osama bin Laden in the caves, girl, you can't spot somebody walking from the U.S. border, from Mexico to the U.S. border, when you're supposed to have, you have money to hire people to look out for that stuff. You have AI. That is all a lie. That's to lock you in. We've been on a permanent lockdown. That's why nothing feels the same. It's multi-layered. Nothing feels the same because you're still in lockdown. Nothing feels the same because people still can't breathe. People still can't breathe. If you notice that, have you been able to breathe since 2020? I'm just asking a question. And it might not be physical, but it might be emotional, or it might be spiritual, or it might be energetically. Things have not been the same. You've not been able to breathe because every year they hit us with something else, another psyop. They're really, truly just trying to get the gift of God, the breath. Because in the breath is the perfect peace, is the stillness. It's all found in the breath. That's your life force too. And also too, I'm kind of getting that thing is causing a lot of deaths. Not the Rona that happened. But whatever they used to fuse, they used that to fuse, and they took out all of that time. This is also too why I feel that people are dying, and there's a lot happening. There's also kind of people leaving too. It's given rapture vibe, but not the way that people are expecting it. So the lockdown, you're still on lockdown. Because, yeah, we're still on lockdown. That's one thing. And we got the non-corporeal bodies. That's a big issue. That's a major issue. That the AI and all the smart technology is causing spirits. So forget about CERN, opening portal, or even the Vatican. Maybe that was part of the plan, that they would open that to let the non-corporeal spirits. And now with the fiber optics and the AI data centers, now they have enough energy, aka life force, to now interface with you They're coming through the walls, I'm hearing. They're coming through the walls and through the floors. And this is what I'm saying. So this smart stuff, they just letting in spirits is what it is. Because they don't want us to awaken to this and to realize that there's 30 to 50 years or so missing. This is why they want the non-corporeal spirits. This is why they needed the COVID vaccine. So it's always the lowering, lowering, lowering. Because you're actually, if you were to gain full control and have full sovereignty, then you would know that something was missing. You would know that the time was missing. Is what I am saying. And I forgot the other thing that I asked you guys to look for. Oh, Kaleidoscope. Is what they use to play with kids. You look inside of a little tube and turn it on the end, and the light changes colors. Keely, thank you so much. So remember how I said, it was a few videos ago, I was talking about how they fragmented the light. That's what this earth thing is. It's a fragmented light. This was never going to be a godly place. When they tell you, that's a lie. This was not created by God. And even Yeshua, Jesus, told me that himself. This was always a fallen frequency. So we were always prone to fallen angels. We were always going to have this stuff. The only difference is now you're waking up. That's the only difference. Now you're waking up. Way to describe it. Okay. I'm going to look that up, but thank you so much. Cuz I think it's they fragmented the light, because we're truly on a light spectrum. That's what real life truly is. And you know, guys, I'm just channeling this. We're on a light spectrum, and that's what they changed. That's what they changed. Y'all, I'm kind of called BS on CERN. I'm calling BS on it. And I don't even, there's something that would not let me go all the way in with CERN. And I'm not saying that they're not doing all that stuff, but I'm saying in this moment, they're taking credit for some things that are going down, which I don't think that it's just them. I think that is a setup to explain why nothing feels the same. Oh, oops, we opened some portals and we can't close them. Sorry. No. Nope, there's something bigger. I think that CERN is the fall guy for something that, truly is going on spiritually. I think they're trying to explain away something happening cosmically. And they're trying to just give you CERN so that you do not tap in to figure out what is happening spiritually or cosmically. I'm calling BS on CERN. It's just their fall guy. That's what that is. The kaleidoscope. An optical instrument consisting of mirrors tilted at angles, oh my God, usually 60 degrees, that reflect bits of colored glass or objects into symmetrical, ever-changing geometric patterns when rotated. Inverted, good God. You guys see all the key words. We talk about all of this on the channel. Inverted in 1817. Its name derives from Greek, meaning observer of beautiful forms. It is used as a toy, art, or for meditation. Wow. So 2 to 3 mirrors placed at angles, often inside of a tube, creating symmetrical reflections. Okay, Yeah, guys, so this is what is happening. It's an optical illusion is what we're in. And they are using a kaleidoscope. I don't know if CERN, what CERN uses, I don't know, because I truly haven't looked up into it. This could be something I'm channeling from there, but all in this moment, that is what they're using. It's like a light. It's an optical illusion, and the problem is, oh boy, am I still here? Okay. I have 220. Always gonna have this. Okay. At Frozen. Okay. Sorry. I'm outside, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm just sitting in a, yeah, so it's the internet from like where I am. So, I apologize. I don't know how much you guys did not hear. Oh no. And I really can't say they're messing with the videos because I'm not, I'm, you know. Let me actually see if I can switch the fine. If it's okay now, it's good. Okay. All right. So, dang, I don't know where I left off, and I want really quickly because I something about the kaleidoscope. Okay, the moon means the subconscious, doesn't it? Yeah, but guys, the moon, like this, what we see is not the real moon. The moon is just not organic, and it cleanse their crystals in the moon and stuff. But I'm almost wondering how, when the moon with itself is real. I mean, I guess it still is sentient. It's energy. Um, guys, that light is good. Bad. Is it okay? It's better. I don't know, guys. I can't really. I don't know if I'm still on here. I don't know. Am I on here or not? Am I on here, guys? CERN is full of mirrors too? Good God. Yep. I'm just channeling this because I don't really know much about CERN. It's glitching? Okay. All right, all right, all right. Give me a second, guys. We're going to get it together. We're going to get this thing together. We're going to get it together. Okay, I'm here. Okay, I'm going to check it on my end just to see if I'm still here.
Have you seen those ads saying you can get GLP-1 for 99
No. Hopefully I'm still here. Back again? Okay. I'm checking it on my phone just to see. Okay. Okay. All right. Like the video, guys, and subscribe to the channel. So, yes. So, what I'm saying is, what is happening? Why doesn't anything feel real? A, you're on lockdown. We've been on lockdown since that time. And the reason why you're on lockdown is because they want the energy, the life force that they took They separated life force. It's funny how they say the world is getting smaller every day. You know, like now that we have access to social media and the world seems smaller, it feels smaller because they cut our field, is what I'm getting. They cut our organic field. Just like you have an auric field that you exist in, we have an auric field as a collective soul body and as an earth, right? They cut that and then they shrinked it, almost like in a vacuum, and now everything is more compact and tighter, right? It's the illusion that we're coming closer together, or that, you know, all of the countries, everything is like, you know, a little bit more smaller where we can kind of conversate with each other. But it's no, they cut it. They took half of that. They took some of our years, then they cut the organic auric field of the collective. They took that. They took some of our life force, which we've already outlined. What are they creating with this? I'm serious. They are Frankensteining together something right now. Lord, don't let it be the new earth, baby. They're Frankensteining something together. They are Frankensteining something together. And it may be the new earth they're Frankensteining together. And that's why, remember Source started calling it the expanded consciousness, because the new earth had been hijacked. I think I started saying this, in 2024? No, we're now calling it the expanded consciousness because they've hijacked new earth. I think that's what they're doing. Because there's a lot of things missing. A lot of things missing as it pertains to how this earth realm works. I think they might create a new earth. And then I think there will be a fake rapture. And I think they might take people there. But it will just be more halls of mirrors and more lockdowns. You won't actually get to the expanded consciousness. So be careful. The more people awaken, they actually want people to awaken. They want it. Because they're going to trick people. Especially, you know, the people that are only, you know, the new age love and light, which do not account for the polarities, right? You got to have the good, the bad, the up and the down, the black and the white, right? It's just one polarity. Just love, just light, just cool breeze. Nothing's wrong. These people will be heavily susceptible to the fake, false time warp, is what I'm getting. It will be a time warp. And in a way, that's what we are experiencing right now. We are in a time warp. We're on a lockdown. We're in a time warp. And we are being fragmented and fried, I'm hearing, by the kaleidoscope. Fragmented and fried by the kaleidoscope. So this is important. I need to write this down. Fragmented by the kaleidoscope. You can't make it up. This is what Source is saying. Yep. We are being fragmented and fried. Fragmented and fried by the kaleidoscope. And this could be adjacent to CERN, but I'm telling you, CERN is taking responsibility for something that I think already happened, like our missing time. You know, they always have to make something, explain something where you won't go looking any further. Like they'll give like a something happens spiritually, they'll give it like a medical term to it. But as above, so below. So this is also happening in the spirit realm as well. Ooh, the kaleidoscope offers, thank you, baby girl Lil Bet. The kaleidoscope offers fragmented versions of trickery, yes. And then and they're blaming CERN on it to explain it away. Yes. Baby girl, a little bit. Do mirrors hold the 808 frequency? Probably. Because it talks about this in the Cosmic Bible. It talks about the 808 frequency is a frequency that they are using. Now, what is that? It's like when you listen to hip hop and that heavy bass sound, that's an 808, but it's a synthetic sound. They took the old one away. The old 808 was done with real drums, but when they started to synthesize the music, then they made a fake sound. That is a very destructive frequency blast, and that's why they had to get everyone on hip hop. You notice how hip hop became part of pop culture is because they were putting these frequency blasts inside of the music. And if you listen, and guys, if you grew up in the 90s, baby, remember the park, everyone had the lowrider cars, and they would like trink out their cars, and then people would go and they blast their music. They'd have like a million speakers in the back. Or remember that MTV show where people used to pimp their rides, and then they have like a million speakers. That was a thing because they were blasting people with the frequency. Now it's in your house. Now it's everything's smart meters and smart, refrigerators and stuff. Now they can do that in your house. But it originally came through that music. And it's a very destructive frequency. And I even quote Kanye West in the book because he says that it creates killer killer and sexualized like songs. Like if you notice that is kind of like the route that the music started to morph into, because it binds you down to your lower chakras, right? So you're like in root chakra, and root chakra is, red. That's why when you go to all of these stores, in fast food restaurants, it's always red. Chick-fil-A red, Arby's red, Target red. Everything has a red essence to it because it is keeping you in your root chakra, and the 808 keeps you in your root chakra, so it keeps you fragmented. It keeps you not from expanding up, not from the kundalini rising, and not for you going up the 33 vertebrae, right, coming into your Christ awareness or consciousness is what that is. All that kundalini is Christ awareness being activated, because when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and the Christ vibration and frequency is an absolute teacher. Oh, Kanye had a microwave bad lyric. Yeah, he's been talking about this for a while. And so this kaleidoscope, like, it's frying us, guys. Like, remember I kept talking about, and I just listen, like a lot of these frequencies, I just picked one up. It's all around us, right? It's fragmenting and frying us. Guys, if you were to, on a hot day, that's why they need these AI data centers. On a hot day, if you were to take a magnifying glass on a sidewalk or on a like insect or something, don't ask me why, but my brother was always outside in the summer doing experiments. I'm like, why you gotta hurt the insects? They did nothing to you. But you could fry something with mirrors. That's what they're doing. They are fragmenting, but it all comes from they're trying to skew the source light. They're casting down illusions through the kaleidoscope, through the light that's coming down into these dimensions. When the source light, right, is just pure light, and when it comes down, right, it like reverberates. So somehow they are attached to a reverberation in one of the spheres. They are getting access to source light, which is a reverberation of purity. And that is what they are using. They have something like a kaleidoscope. It's not here on the 3D. It's in another realm. It could be fourth dimension or fifth dimension. that they have this set up. It almost gives me the vibe when it was talking about the geometric patterns, or I like did a when I did like a channeling, I saw a lot of geometric patterns on the sixth dimension. So it could even be casting down from the sixth dimension, skewing. Here's what it is: it's casting down from the sixth dimension, skewing the 5D consciousness that people are supposed to be rising to, which is what they call the new earth. But Source for me changed it to the new expanded consciousness, and then Source started talking about going to the eighth sphere, right? Which is probably because now we know the 5D is being colluded, because they got their freaking time warp machine and demonic mirrors reflecting and fragmenting and frying light. And this is why, I keep talking about everything's like radioactive, right? There is like, people are radioactive right now. All the fog, right? The radioactive fog, right? That we were channeling a few months ago with Erica Kirk, because like everything is all the same. None of this stuff is separate now. Now what, this video truly is about now is, this is why nothing feels real. Is because they have warped our reality. They have literally fragmented and fried. They took pure source light, fragmented it, and they're frying. This is demonic. They're frying us with the source light. It's like, that's how I see it. They took it, they skewed it, they fragmented it, and now when they give it back to us through this weird mirror, which creates this warp. If you were to go in a fun house, if you go to a circus or something, you walk down the hall of mirrors, you look warped. Or you might see that the hallway is slanted and the floors are going down. But if you were to take step outside of that fun house with the mirrors, or take the weird reflective glasses off, then everything would look the same. Guys, we are in a freaking circus right now. That's what's happening. That's what's going on. This is how Source is explaining this. And it is the mirrors, the kaleidoscope, that is given the vibe, it's sixth dimensional, right? It's above where we're going. If you're going to the 5D, you better think again and go a little bit higher. Because baby, is given the vibe that that a lot of people who think they're going to just be going to the new earth and they don't know all of this, those are the same people that were waiting out there for the rapture. Whether you're religious or not, the same people that are only love and light and new earth are the same exact people, the same exact energy as the people that had sold all their belongings and were waiting out there for the rapture on a specified day. They're the same people. They do not account for the fuckery. And you have to, because we live in polarities. And this trickery, mirrors and stuff, it takes that out. If you have too much light, what happens, guys? You can't see. That's why it's always a balance. Everything's about homeostasis. So this is how Source explains this. Why doesn't anything feel real anymore? Because it's like we're in a hall of mirrors where things look warped in size. Things look like you're about to fall off of a cliff. But we're not. The googly, you got their goggles on. You're seeing life through their warped hall of mirrors. But that's not what actually is. What actually is that you are gaining access to your divinity, to your power, to your sovereignty, to your completeness, to the infinite part of you. That is what is true. And they knew that. This is why they had to take out that time, all those years missing. This is why they needed that 1969 timeline, because it deals with technology and it deals with the satellite, which is the dark side of the moon. And the dark side of the moon has all of these creepy crawly entities and grays. Just there's a bunch of just grays up there, y'all. I would think twice before you start doing some moon magic, because you may just be working with the grays and you don't know it. I'm just saying. I can't necessarily confirm that, but I'm reaching back to a past channel of what I saw. I saw grays on that moon. And these are what I'm hearing in this moment. These are the hybrid. These are half grays and half humans. These are the hybrid children that they've been having with human women and men. I don't so dear Diana, so don't charge the crystals with moonlight. I'm not a crystal girly. I hope to learn more about crystals though. I think they are beneficial. So I'm not the right person to tell you about the crystals. But I can just tell you that the moon is inorganic. Now, do we have something like a moon? I believe we do. I just don't believe that that's what we're looking at. I don't. And at least not, maybe we were looking at it in ancient times, or maybe 1,000, 2,000 years ago, possibly. But this moon, I don't believe that it's real. And maybe they found a way to black out the real moon. And this is giving Saturn vibes. It's just it's a control center is what it is. Guys, I want you to understand. We look back at the Truman Show. When you think about true man, they're telling you this is what the true. If you are a soul in spirit, birth of soul in spirit, you are a true man. A true man is on a movie set. You and I are on a movie set. You and I are in the Truman movie. That's why they have to have you in corporate America, which is your planetary captivity. I don't know why I'm hearing that. I wanted to say it's the corporate plantation, but sources say it's a planetary captivity. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. They have to have these different points for you to pop into. All the doctor appointments, the school you got to go to, the church on Sunday, all of these things are set up strategically, and then it's spit back to you. Ooh, glasses. Uh-oh. My what do you call it? The time warp glasses are coming off. Look, because we're speaking too much truth. So then they spit it back to you like it's culture. Oh, it's a cultural norm to do. We do this in this part of the world. No. I love our ancestors, but some of our ancestors back then, they didn't ask questions, guys. They just went along with it. And then you see now we have to awaken up from all the psyops and spells that they gave our ancestors. They push it back like it's culture. And it's not. So I forgot what I was saying. What was the last thing I was talking about? Oh, the moon. Yeah. So nothing feels the same because of the kaleidoscope. Because there's a whole chunk of time missing. And that time, guys, there isn't anything of time. What I want you to understand of what is missing is innovation. What is missing is your source energy, which is attached to innovation, which is attached to your blueprint of things that you were supposed to produce here. That is what is missing. And so with all of those things being missing, it means that other things cannot come through yet. We are almost, someone has pressed it's a way to press the pause button because they have shrank our field to create a new earth that people think they're going to. And they will rapture people there. And who knows, you might meet your hybrid children there. It will be heavily the new place that send people to. You will be coexisting with beings. And I'm getting hybrids. That's the false thing. And that's part of what the 1969 timeline. So nothing feels real because we're in a circus and you are a true man and true woman. You are on a movie set. They've already told you. And then they took Yeshua. They took the if you read the Gospel of Thomas, where Yeshua came down to tell you you were in a matrix. Read that. It's very important, or watch it on YouTube. To tell you you were in a matrix, to wake you up. That is what the Christos consciousness, the Christ, came to do. Whether Christ walked as a physical being or not, the consciousness is an awakening consciousness. It is an awakening energy. So Christos was the producer, remember, the director of the Truman Show. And at the end, when Truman was scared of water this whole time, because I think his father passed away in a boat and he was afraid, do you get what I'm throwing down? What do? They tie some of the traumas you have in with certain things to keep you stuck in the matrix. So his father passed away and they were in, these rocky waters. And he didn't want to go to the water. But in fact, when he went through the water to escape, he hit the wall, the ice wall. And then he was able to walk up the stairway to heaven, the one that they told you. What's that one in the Bible that they said that, we were not supposed to build the stairway to heaven? I mentioned this in the book. I can't remember right now. But what that is, the stairway to heaven, is the Kundalini. That is you. That's why they had to, the psyop was to cut off the atlas, right? To bring in the 3-eye atlas. So, which is AI atlas. I don't care what anyone says. All these channelers, I don't know what y'all channeling, because that thing is not of light. And I'm going to stand by that, because I just feel the vibration that it ends up being another captivity. Now, whether the beings on there have good intentions or not, I just feel that somehow, some way, it goes left. So I'm not even going to get into it and tell you that it's good when it's not. The one good thing I think that the 3-eye atlas did for humanity is to awaken certain people up to the fact that there is more out there. But it's just like the CERN. You will contribute the 3-eye atlas to anything good that happens. You will contribute it to that. If you contribute it to that, then you'll be contributing back to the news, the very people who brought you. If they bring you something, it is not for you. If the Matrix brings you anything, throw it away. My dad used to say, if something is free, you better run from it. Ain't nothing free. Say, if it's free, you better run from it. This is what I am saying. So when Truman hit the ice wall, he went through his fear, which was attached to his traumas. What you are afraid of, that's your trauma. And a lot of the times it's past life trauma. Most traumas are from past life, or even the trauma you have in this life. If you go back to your past life, you can see where it started. The inciting incident. If you're writing a movie or script, we call this in script writing the inciting incident, or in, just in writing in general. If you're writing a book, what's the inciting incident? What happens to take this character on their journey? What happens to bring this character out of that city into this new world that we are creating? The inciting incident. That's where you got to get to. And that's all past life. The inciting incident that made you the way you are now is started in a past life. That's what you need to heal from. The event. And these inciting incidents and the event is to keep you from walking on water. It's to keep you from going up Jacob's ladder. It's to keep your Kundalini lowered in frequency. The Triverse of the 1969 timeline is to keep you lowered in frequency. All of the red you see in all of the stores and shops and restaurants is to keep you root chakra. The music, the 808 frequency, is to keep you baseline, root chakra. Food, shelter, clothing, and satisfying only one body of consciousness, which is the physical body. And therefore you will stay fragmented because you are 5 bodies of consciousness, not just the physical vessel. And so when Truman got rid of his trauma, he said, in spite of my trauma, in spite of the inciting incident to my father on this water, I am going to persevere. I'm going to climb up. First, he had to bring the Kundalini up to the 33 vertebrae to even awaken here within the crown, within the third eye. And then he went up the forbidden stairway, Jacob's ladder. They don't want you up there. Because guess why? The director was up there, Christos. And they were modeling Christos after Christ. Because they gave you a watered down version of Christ, which was the Savior. And you do notice a theme here? Three-Eye Atlas Savior. The image they gave us of Jesus, the Savior. Anything they give you, trust me, they've taken the truth out and they've given you the pacifier to pacify you like a child. While they go off into their islands and they have the true knowledge. They have the true knowledge. They always extract. I don't care what you read, even the Bible itself. Just know you are not getting 100% of nothing as long as these creepy, crawly entities have anything to do with it. And they do. You are not. Because even if you go back to the Ethiopian Bible, it is completely different. So when I'm saying the Bibles that they give us here in this country, trust me, there's some stuff missing. And you know it's something missing because it even says it in the Bible. If anybody adds or takes away from this, I will take away you from the tree of life. We wouldn't even need to mention that if someone didn't add or take away. They've already told you what they did. You just don't believe them. We got to just start believing when they say they are showing us who they are. And therefore, the true reflection, the gag is we're seeing their reflection, which should make you understand that you are the polarity of them, which you are God. You are the I am. But we're not getting there because everyone's just like, what's going on? Nothing feels real. Nothing feels real anymore because, baby, we ain't in Kansas anymore. We left the Hall of Mirrors, but everyone else is still operating like they're in the Hall of Mirrors. When in fact, we're just watching this whole thing. I'm just the observer at this point. I'm watching this whole thing from the bird's eye view, from the bird's eye seat. But this is where we build the community, because it's like we got to get to the new promised land. Because this one is an illusion. It's the kaleidoscope. So now this is why we're coming together. So now I'm even understanding, because the cosmic ministry is a work in progress. I'm understanding now. Oh, we got to guide the people to the new. I don't even want a timeline. I don't even know what to call it anymore. Expanded consciousness. Because what happens when the entire world wakes up? That's when this whole thing will go. Because the illusion will explode. We almost better thank God for the NPCs. They're the ones keeping somewhat of a thread together. Are you truly ready for the complete collapse? Are you? Ask yourself that. Are you ready for the complete collapse? Because if you think nothing feels real now, if you say bring in the complete collapse, this is what it almost feels like, the calm before the storm. That's why I'm in this perfect peace. feels like the calm before the storm. The true collapse of it all, I think, is a world that you and I don't want to see. That's the truth. We've been we've been very blessed here in this nation of America. We've been very blessed. But in some regards, we are not prepared because of the blessing, because of we've been shielded. If you go into these other countries, like, these countries right now, in Gaza, right? In all of these places where the children are, they live in war day in and day out. They still play. Children still can play in the midst of a war. Children will find things, rocks and stuff, to, create something within their imagination. They create new games. They cut these dirty, plastic bottles open, and now they have a new cup. This is what I'm saying. The complete collapse will look a lot like that, where you will have to be so broken down where that if you find a rock, it will feel like heaven, is what I'm saying. That's the complete collapse. So I'm going to ask you, are you truly ready for that? There's no such thing called shelter in a complete collapse. The best thing to do is to leave this world behind. Get to the expanded consciousness now. Do not wait for the complete collapse. And the reason why I say that is because keeping your vibes high, there's no way you could ever experience the complete collapse. But the people that are already in base consciousness, in root chakra consciousness, they will be more susceptible to experiencing the complete collapse, because they're only anchored in food, shelter, to eat, to smoke, to satisfy the physical vessel. They have not activated the body ends and systems in these bodies of consciousness to carry them forward. They will go down with the ship. The people in base consciousness, the people in survival consciousness, they will go down with the ship. They will be part of the complete collapse. They will not be able to energetically make it. So the whole point with Charlie was just they're saying, we're going to cut your atlas off, which is to bring your neck, so that your kundalini does not awaken you to, after they traverse the 1969 timeline, to the fact that we got whole 30 to 50 something years time warp. So this kaleidoscope energy, it would not work had they not took out that amount of time. So now we're just walking in a funhouse at a circus. But that's not what's truly going on when you're purged in consciousness, when you've already awoken before they cut the atlas off. And right around the same time when they cut off the atlas from the Charlie Carlos. So I'm sorry. They still gave you that. And to me, Source calls it AI. So they want to cut your natural atlas off and give you an AI atlas. That's what it is for. They're going to give you an AI atlas, and whatever AI says, whatever the Chat GPT says, the Gemini, and whatever all of these apps say, that is your atlas. That'll be your map. We're being brought into a false map, which is like what I'm saying is they've hijacked New Earth, and it becomes this map with just AI. You know? So that's why they falsified Jesus. They had to give you the weakened version. Jesus ain't weak. Jesus is a strong man. And when I channeled Father God in the Great Expansion, the book talks of his original names that he goes, which one of them is Armand, right? So it has different spellings, but it does trace back to Hebrew, and it means Jesus. It also means like strong. So in my back, in my back, in my back. Okay, hopefully I'm back. Yeah, so they gave you a very, very, that is not the Christos Christ energy. Okay, so now we know where all the psyops is for. This is why nothing feels real. Truman goes up the stairs, and then the reason why they don't want you on the stairway to Jacob's ladder, the stairway to heaven, they didn't want the stairway is the vertebrae that right awareness and consciousness, right? So they don't want you there because he was able to get into what? The control center and see the freaking producer and director, Christos, that has been directing him this entire time. Okay, so back to the names. So yes, if you look up, if you have the Cosmic Bible, the Great Expansion, all of the names that the Most High goes by. And he tells me he likes that name because it's he did in time, and that name is a little bit more earthly. It reminds him of, his time spent here. But so it's like Armon. There's different ways you can spell it. It can translate it also from Hebrew into French, right? Like that. It's just not possible. Every time I start talking about the Christ, they don't want me to get into that. I said there ain't no way that that's the depiction of the Christ. That's what I said, and that's what I meant, because one of his name literally means warrior. He is a warrior, and that is what you and I are. We will be able to handle it, but we got to flee to the mountains, which is to expand in consciousness. Because a lot of these people, they are the love and light community, they are the ones also waiting for the rapture, even though they don't believe in it. They're on the same energy field. No, you have to rapture yourself by keep expanding and waking up. Now you're ready for the extraction out of here. That's why I keep saying it's like my father just left. It's like, it's not really a death per se. Yes, his physical body's not here, but that's why I'm in this perfect peace. It's like I just keep getting the sense that he left. Like he chose to leave. And I want to prepare us, because how do you think these rapture will happen? You can't just get on a spaceship and say, beam me up, Scotty. We have laws here. It will probably happen by mass casualties, is what I'm saying. Or someone will just be like, oh, one day they just died. Well, did they really die, or did they just leave? Now we got to kind of question death differently. Are people truly dying? Or is this rapture thing a continuous clearing of energy? I'm asking myself, because it shouldn't, Yes, God will give you a perfect peace, absolutely. But there's something greater, there's something higher happening right now. So, leaving off with the Truman Show, and I'll wrap this up, is that when he went up the stairway, after they tied his trauma, that's why his dad died with trauma. He didn't want to get across that water. They knew that. That's why they set it up. The Matrix will set it up where you experience something horrible, and then it'll make you afraid to fly, or afraid to drive, or anything. And then that's where your blessing was, on that train that you didn't get on. That's where you were supposed to meet the love of your life. On that airplane, that's where, some of your best ideals were going to come from. But the Matrix will set up these traumatic things, these inciting incidents, to keep you away from your own divinity and expansion. And then they will string together string theory. What's that? They will string. What's string theory? They will string together a false timeline, a false expansion, a false new earth. They will put that thing together for you because you followed everything else that they said after all. Yep. String theory, theoretical framework in particle physics that proposes the universe's fundamental constituents are not zero-dimensional point particles, but rather tiny one-dimensional vibrating strings of energy. Okay? These strings vibrate at different frequencies, this is true, which each vibration mode corresponding to different fundamental particles like electrons. Okay? I can't even remember what I was saying right before I said string theory, but that just came out. So when Truman walked up those stairs, that's what they're using, string theory. These inciting incidents, these things that happen. Oh, let's put the dad, him and the dad on the boat, and let's make it scary to keep him away from the water, because we know that 50 years from now, he's going to go across that water, and he's going to go up the stairway of heaven, or the Jacob's ladder, and he's going to be free, or he's going to have that Kundalini awakening. He's going to activate the third eye and then expand through the crown chakra, and then now he goes into the eighth sphere of consciousness, having not risen up the seven aorist fields of the chakras, right? That's what that Truman Show is about. He went from base consciousness to just root chakra vibrations up to the Christos. That's why he met Christos. Christos, that was the director, right? But that's the Christos, the Christ Christos consciousness. So now he could see. It's a stage. And remember, the light fell. Remember, there was a light that said Sirius. I think it says Sirius B. That's also another psyop, and we channeled that. That's another, just a whole nother, this binary system that they say we have is not. It's a trinary system. It has three. There's Sirius, there's Earth, there's heaven, this thing we call heaven, and then there's Sirius B. And Sirius A, B, and C. They're all on like a thread together, right? They're just different reverberations of the light spectrum. Mind you, I'm channeling all of this, guys. Like, these are not things that, like, either A, I've channeled it before, I'm channeling it right now in this moment. So, he saw the truth. He expanded out the crown. And when the light fell from the sky, that's also another satellite, Sirius B. That's also another place where they satellite you. Because I think that the Earth, I think how they have this thing set up is that they might be getting power, like almost like a generator. They're using Sirius B as a generator to power their false Earth. And they're using, when we look at all the spell work and the magic that they're doing, they're getting that stuff from Saturn, the blackout planet. That's what they're using. You don't even have the authority to use Saturn. This is what I'm hearing. You have to have divine authority to use Saturn, because Saturn has a lot of like I'm getting Milky Way energy, like this darkness, but it's not a darkness. It's not supposed to be a darkness that creates denseness. It's like you adding chocolate syrup into milk and creating a balance. Like, it's still milk, but it has a little something, but it's still sweet. That's what the Saturn energy, truly, you have to. Do you know what a high level, I'm getting this, guys, a high level wizard, and I'm not talking about a wizard on this earth plane. I'm talking about, this is a cosmic whiz. This is a cosmic wizard. Has nothing to do with the, you know, the way they demonized it here. No, this is someone who cosmically can put stuff together. You know how you have the people who know how to work with herbs? It's like a cosmic herbalist, but that deals with the star. They know what to do with matter and light and frequencies and energy. That's what I'm talking about. You have to have studied in so many cosmic universities to even gain access to be able to work with Saturn. So these people are in direct violation. And that's why their spell work don't turn out right, because they're not even authorized to even use Saturn and its energy of its rings and all of that. So this whole place is fraudulent and unlawful, is what I'm saying. Boy, if you're tuning into this for the first time, you're going to be like, this woman is crazy. But it's all good, baby. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you're tuning into this, you're going to be like, this is trippy. Oh, I miss these videos. Because right now, guys, true talk, even though I am saying I have a perfect peace, I'm just, with, you know, the loss of my father, I'm just not putting, you know, all the channeling stuff, like the channeling that you have to sit there, do the automatic drawing, it takes a lot of energy. So I'm just kind of like just allowing it to flow for now, and eventually I will feel that I have enough energy, I've refueled enough to get back to that. But I just love it when I just talk and just flow, because source always makes sense of this. So they're using Sirius B, it's like a battery pack, a generator, to get the lights on. They stole the divine feminine energy to even have things like gravity even stay in place. There isn't any such thing as gravity. There isn't, but it's how they capture the divine feminine essence. And so they're using the divine feminine to create this false patriarchal world when it was never like that. If you look back at all of our ancestors, the ancient ancestors, it was always matriarchal. So that's their false timeline. When they start being everything man, that's false, because everything starts with a woman, with the vibration. That is what is true. So that's that. And so Sirius, yep, that's the generator. And then they got the magic, the movie magic. They're getting that from Saturn, but they're not authorized. So that's why it's coming out all decrepit. And, you know, and it is coming out all dense. It ain't supposed to be dense. They don't know. They're not authorized to create this place. They weren't authorized. We got convicts, criminals that colluded from the Lyrian star system. They fought themselves. It's the same people. I'm telling you, these are the same people that are saying that they're Jews, but they are not, but they worship in the synagogue of Satan. I'm telling you, they fought themselves, the same people who said that, oh, it's the Holocaust, when they were fighting their own people. And that's exactly what happened in Lyra. It was a falsified war. But it was the people, they just wanted more and more. So they divided their own people. And then half of the people were in prison, brought down here to Earth. And then they took the magic from the rings of Saturn, and they're unauthorized to use it. They don't even understand how to even construct that together, because they are prisoners of war. That's what we have running this stuff. These people, these entities, and these people in powers, they're prisoners of war. How you think we get prisons down here? There's just no such thing as these things. It's all just constructed and fabricated. And you are on a movie set. If you guys, because you guys know I used to work in Hollywood, if you go to television set, if you look into the rafters, all of the lights are already pre-put together. They're already pre-hung. They're already, we got shutters on there, so some are a little bit more closed to reflect the light a certain way, because it's movie magic, right? Some are a little bit more open, right? Then we got the backlighting. You always got to have backlighting, because we have to make you feel like you're in a world, a globe, a sphere, right? You go back to the flower of life, you go back to the Fibonacci sequence, you go back to everything's a sphere. That's why we have to have backlighting, because you don't know, but spiritually, if you didn't have backlighting, it would look what? It would look, just two-dimensional. If you did not have the backlighting, or maybe three-dimensional, but the backlighting brings it into a sphere. It makes you feel like you're in it. Now, if we took the backlighting away, you would never feel that you're in it. And this is how they cast the spell. When you watch that movie, that TV show, you feel like you're in it because they've created a sphere. It's an optical illusion. So now you have stepped into that energy field, and then that is when they bind you into that through repetition and through association. Right? And this is how they can trick you and fool you. And so all of the lights are already pre-hung, and everything's already set up. It's already been pre-practiced. This thing has been rehearsed already. And then they bring all of us here through this thing they call birth, when we're actually infinite. So I'm questioning that whole thing, the birthing process. You shouldn't even have to come through a birth. You should just pop up and show up on the scene, because that's who you are. Because you can do that. The birth, even this birth is unnatural. Because, back in the day, women used to reproduce by themselves through Parthenogenesis, something like that. Genesis, first book of the Bible. So even the way we do birth now is unnatural. The real creation, let there be light, then there was light. That is it. It's spoken. It's the original vibration in with the spoken word now births something. That is how creation works. You should not have to do all that just to come through. We've not been operating within our divinity. We have not. Even that's falsified. That's the lower version of it. Is God still in it? Yes, God is in everything, but it's not the original way that it was to be and to go. So that's that. And you're on a movie set. I just want to let you know that. And maybe possibly the NPCs are the people that are still on stage right now. They're still shooting their lines. So they can't wake up. Imagine if they would wake up in the middle of shooting their lines. They'd be like, what's going on? Now that would be a complete tear, right, in our fabric. But we set our lines, and we're backstage, looking at it, and we can see, because we have a different perspective, we can see the lights, we can see the cameras moving and the pushing in, we can see the director, and we can see the people putting makeup on. We know that it's fake, but the NPCs are still on stage saying their lines. So what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to leave. Now this is how you get the exodus. It's fake now. You don't just stand there. You're obviously not going to say any more lines to the system. You're not going to do it. So why are you sitting there watching? It's time to leave. Time to go. Leave the world behind. And it is time to go up the Jacob's ladder. It is time to go up the stairway to heaven, per se. It's the enlightenment. It's all within you. It's just expanding out from the root chakra all the way up and having that awakening where you master the 7 C's. And then that's how you get to New Earth. New Earth as a collective sprouts out of the false shell they have us in. Like, we are birthing that. But there are some people that they are part of the script of the old earth. They will never leave it. They are tether connected to it. They can't see it. They're still experiencing the spirit of themselves on stage. They feel that it's real. As of you and I can see the lights. We see the whole production, and that is what Truman saw at the end. And then he took a bow. Bow? He took a bow at the end, and then that's when he was free. He left. So imagine if he were to just get up to the top, see Christos, have the awakening, and then still be there. It wouldn't be real. You have to leave. We don't just sit there and watch. We have to go, because there's more for us to create. We are creator gods. We are creating all of this. We can create a new world. And I don't say this just to make it sound good. No, that is who you are. You can give birth without physically giving birth. Everything is the vibration first. It's the feminine energy, the creative energy first. And then it is spoken. And this is what creates worlds. It's time for us to go and create worlds. And this is why nothing feels real anymore. Okay? Thank you, guys. Oh, Miss Angel. Thank you. Miss Natalie. Yes. Hi, Miss Natalie. Miss Tracy, Amy, everyone, Susan, dear Diana. Master's Light, yes, Master's Light, we missed you. Anja, hi. Anja said, Tahira, girl, you reffing today. Thank you. Tracy, Nisi, everyone, Miss Donna, anyone that I missed. Okay. Yeah, so this is what's happening, guys. All we have to do now is just start to create our new place, because this place, I'm sorry, is not coming back, because it ain't coming back because it never was real. It's not that nothing feels real anymore. No, it never was real. It was always fragmented, fried, and with the kaleidoscope. And then they brought in CERN trying to explain away what happened. No, you never had an Earth. That's what happened. You never had it. You ain't just did this now. You never had it. Because you're not a creator God. We are. And that's why really they have to soul tether themselves to us. That's the purpose also for the reincarnation soul trap. It's so that you can keep creating for them. Because they don't have soul and spirit. They don't have soul. They cannot create. They can create only things that feel fake. Because the soul is what is the fabric that ties everything together. That's the warm and fuzzy feeling when you go into your grandmother's house and you eat the food that your grandmother's been making for 50 years, because that's the soul. It was done out of love, right? She does it out of love every Sunday or whatever your family tradition is. That's that's what you and I bring. We bring the divine spark. They can put up the buildings, but they don't have the lights. You are the light. And they want to fragment your light. That's what they did to even create this. So let this whole thing burn down, because they're building it off of our backs. They fragmented our light, pure light, source light. And nothing feels real because they are not real. It never was real. It was only real because they stole our light, our consciousness, our love. That is why it was real. You and I are real. You and I are Israel. You and I are Israel. We are spiritual Israel because we are birth of soul and spirit. They are not. They are not. Guys, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Oh, I miss these videos so much. Oh, going back to my... See, and even that, YouTube is so fake now, you know? Like, people used to sit in their cars. People used to sit outside and just whatever. Do a video on their front porch or just in nature or at the beach or just randomly. They were real. Real. But this feels good, guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, take advantage of the February special for the quantum telepathic hypnosis with past life regression session so that you guys can see the event. So that special ends today. So there is a booking link down below. If you're interested in activating your spiritual gifts, in our group that will be starting, our class will be starting in 2 weeks. And you guys will receive very soon, everyone who's signed up, you will receive your student login and access to all your videos and content and workbooks and audio workbooks. And yep, we're gonna start. I'm clearing the energy field right now, preparing for that, because when I do this class, there's an energy field, right, that I have to be in. It is a complete energy field where we are gonna step into our group is going to be telepathic. You will be telepathic by the end. We are cultivating this energy field during this class. It's more than just a learning. It is a complete activation, and you will never be the same. You will absolutely never. I've never been the same. I love you guys. Thank you so very much. And some people have asked me, and I always forget to mention this, some people have emailed me and they've asked how, some people want to send flowers or money for flowers or whatever, to bless me during this time. So if you are interested, I do have a Cash App. You can email me, but my Cash App is $Tahira E. So that's $TAHIRAHE as in echo. And it will say Mother of the Ages, so you will be able to see that. But thank you guys so very much. So excited. Yes, I am too. I love you. I love you. I love you. And so it is. Love is the way. Forgiveness is the key. And truth is the light that will always, always guide us home. Be well, guys. Be well. Bye.